Okay, so here's a question in which what we're going to do on this question, we're going to make a what's called a scatter plot. This is called a scatter plot. We're going to scatter some dots. And what we're trying to figure out is the relationship, the connection between how students did on the first quiz in this class and how they did on the second. This is something you might be interested in when you become a teacher, you know, like how are my students doing? Is there a connection? So in other words, here's the first student. The first student is these two numbers that I just highlighted. What do I mean? The first student got a 12 on the first quiz and a 9 on the second quiz. So he or she went down on the second quiz a little bit and didn't do real red hot on either one. The second student got a 17 on the first quiz and went down a little bit, 16 on the second quiz. The third student got an 18 on the first quiz and went down to a 15 on the second. The fourth student got a 20 on the first quiz and 18 on the second. Everybody's going down, aren't they? A little bit down on the second quiz. The next student got a 21 on the first quiz, and then a 20. The next student got a 26 and a 22. 26 in the first quiz, 22 in the second. This person got 29, 24, and this person got 30, 27. So everybody went down. Doesn't it seem like everybody went down on the second? I mean, they did. They all went down a little bit on the second quiz. So we're trying to see, is there a connection? Is there a connection between how people did on the first quiz and how they did on the second quiz? Do people that tended to do better on the first quiz, did they also do better on the second, or is there just no connection? Like maybe some people aced the first quiz and bombed the second, or maybe bombed the first but aced the second. Is there just no connection, or is there a connection? Well, all these questions can be answered with a graph called a scatter plot. And basically, it's just an XY graph. So I'm going to do one student at a time, and every student is going to be a dot on the graph. So I'm going to take the first student who got a 12 on the first quiz and a 9 on the second. And I'm going to put their dot on the graph. See how the x-axis here is right here? See, whoops, this is not what I meant to do. Never mind that line right there. See how quiz 1 is down here on the x-axis and quiz 2 is up here on the y-axis? So I'm going to click on this dot maker tool. This is going to allow me to put dots on the graph. Let me clear that. If you click on the line making tool, you can click a couple, you can make lines. There's other tools. We're not going to make like U-shaped graphs. You know, we're not doing any of that. We're just going to make dots and then a line at the end. So I'm going to start with the dot making tool. I'm going to come up here and grab the first student who got a 12 on quiz 1 and a 9 on quiz 2. That's going to be my X, Y values on the graph. Over 12, up 9. So I'm going to go over 12, up to 9, which is about right there. See how that's over 12, 12 on quiz 1, up to a 9, just above the 8 on quiz 2. If you get the wrong spot, you can move it afterwards. If you highlight it, you can move it to where you want it. Over 12, up 9. That dot represents the first student who got a 12 on quiz 1 and a 9 on quiz 2. 12 on quiz 1, 9 on quiz 2. That one dot represents those two numbers, the X and the Y, the quiz 1, the quiz 2, for that one student. Next student got a 17 and a 16. That 17 on quiz 1, 16 on quiz 2, that's X, Y. So I'll go to 17 and go up to 16, be right. Oh, I missed it a little bit. Let me move it over there. 17, 16. Next student, 18, 15. So I'll go over to 18. It's right in the middle of 16 and 20. 18, 15. I think it'll be about right there. Yeah, it's good. 18, 15. Next one, 20, 18. So 20, 18. Beautiful. Next one, 21, 20. 21, 20, right there. 21, 20. Next one, 26, 22. 26, 22, right there. Over 26, up 22. 29, 24, 29, just past 28. 24, I think we're right there. Yeah, 29, 24. Last one, 30, 27. So 30 right in the middle. 27 right there. Right, 30, 27. Yeah, looks good. All right. So there's the dots. Now, what they want us to do, it says, then sketch a line that best fits the data. So what you want to do is you want to try to put a line right through the middle of the dots. Everybody hearing me on that? It's a best fit. So in other words, the line has to go through the middle. So I'm going to click, I'm on the line making tool right now. Okay, and I'm going to put a dot somewhere. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to try my best to go through the middle of the dots like that. See how that line kind of, I don't know, it's not this, I'm going to move it a little bit. There we go. See how you can move it down? Just hover over the dots and you can move it. See how my line sort of goes through the middle of the dots? Some of the dots are below the line. Some of them are above. Maybe I can move this up a little. Maybe that's better. I don't know. It's not, it's pretty user friendly. Let me submit. Yeah, they took it. Mine's not perfect, but they took it. See how it's a green check mark? I got it right. So all my dots, those are my dots fitting the data. For each student is a dot with his or her quiz 1 score for their X, and their Y is their quiz 2 score. And that line kind of tells us the trend. So that's called a scatter plot. It's just a scattering of dots, but that scattering shows us a trend. It shows us a trend of how students do on quiz 1 and quiz 2. Basically, it shows us that the dots basically go up to the right, don't they? Which means people that go to the right, meaning got a higher score on quiz 1, tend to go up, meaning also got a higher score on quiz 2. So it's not totally random. This data shows that it's not totally random. There's definitely a relationship going on here. People that did better on quiz 1 definitely did better on quiz 2. All right, now and that's what that line shows us, which is the trend line. Now, the best fit line. Down here it says use the line to predict the value of the second quiz if a student got 25 on the first. So suppose you had a student that got 25 on the first quiz, and you're wondering how they might do when they take the second. Well, that line shows you the connection, the relationship between the first quiz and the second. So if they got 25 on the first, so that'd be about right here. See where my pencil is? Just past the 24 for quiz 1, go up to the line at 20. I'm at 25, which is just past 24. Go up to the line, boom, right there. I'd hit the line about right there. And then, so if you're right there, then go over to quiz 2. Looks like I'm about 22, I'm thinking. Maybe 21, I don't know. Probably 22. I'm thinking they'll probably get a 22. Let me submit that. Yeah, that's right. Do you see how I did that? I took the 20, but they got 25 on the first. So I went to 25 on quiz 1, went all the way up to the line. The line is the connection, the prediction. So there's an imaginary dot, an invisible dot right here at over 25. And that dot is at what height? If you go over, it's the middle of 20 and 24. It's at 22. So probably a student who gets 25 on quiz 1, remember quiz 2 is a little harder. They did a little worse on quiz 2. We'll get a 22 on quiz 2. That's the line predicts that connection. So there we go.